Okay, we're not stopping on a history of Kamen Rider. We're gonna keep going. I don't care, because now that we're back to doing that, it's time to catch up. And I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted to do this before I wanted to do Decade, but I'm going in order. So this is by far one of my most favorite writers of all time. I love Kamen Rider W. I don't know what it is about W. Is it the fact that he's that one half of him is a detective and the other half is part of the Earth's energy? Is it the fact that Kamen Rider Skull is, in my opinion, is by far one of the most badass characters of all time, in my opinion? And honestly, would be the writer version of Michael Jackson if he was still alive, which kind of fits the whole thing of him being dead, because I love Kamen Rider W. And this video, I thank to the stars, by the stars and God, that Marcosatsu did this video. Marcosatsu, if you're watching this right now, I thank you immensely. I know it's been years since you've done this. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. Because I know you're going to be talking about this a lot. Thank you for doing these. You are very, very much appreciated and highly favored. And for those of you who don't know who he is, go watch his shit, please. He talks way more about tokusatsu than I do. And that's facts. And honestly, very soon I want that to change as well, because I want to keep talking about tokusatsu as much as I possibly can. Oh, but with that being said, we're gonna get into this. History of Kamen Rider W by Marcosatsu. We're gonna get into this. Leave a like. Who the hell disliked this at 100? Fucking bastards. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Oh, new theme. New theme. Yes. Yes. Also, thank you for doing that, because the old intro thing was getting copyrighted to all hell.
This is the start of what most people would call Heisei Phase 2. If you know even the basics of Kamen Rider, then you're probably aware of what I'm talking about. If you're new, then firstly, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay as I talk about this season from beginning to end with the summary and review. So that goes without saying that there's gonna be spoilers, in case you didn't read the opening text. Although I don't give away every detail in case you're interested in watching the show for yourself. If you're a returning viewer, then hopefully the wait is worth it. I normally don't start out this way, but with Double being arguably one of, if not the most popular Heisei Phase 2 season, at least to the Western fan base,
yes!
I might as well cover my bases.
Yes!
Back to what I was saying, Kamen Rider Decade is the end of Heisei Phase 1, although you might have heard the seasons onward collectively be called Neo Heisei. There are a group of people who don't like that name, mostly because it's not like Emperor Heisei came back as a cyborg. I personally don't call it that, so I'll keep saying Phase 1 and Phase 2, but I don't think
honestly, I'm more of the of saying the names, because I don't have a problem saying Showa, Heisei, and Reiwa. I have no problem saying these names, and honestly, it makes sense to me, because the Showa era was like Kamen Rider Ichigo all the way, in my opinion, all the way to Black. And then Black RX, in my opinion, started the Heisei era. Then, and from Marcosatsu's, direction, I would say that Heisei Phase 1 would be more of the term. Heisei Phase 1, then Heisei Phase 2, then Reiwa. Right? So, but that's just me. That's just my opinion.
There's an official designation. By the way, I've been saying double this whole time, even though it's spelled with a single letter W. W. Double. Two. Two detectives in one. Two title segments.
Yeah, it's a typo. It's literally a typo. Like for those of you who don't understand this, Just like he just said, the W, it stands for two people. Okay? Not just the letter W, but it stands for two people. Because we're going to be talking about two people as one writer. God, I love this. I love this show.
2 slots for the driver. Double. At least it sounds cool.
Man, I swear, when this show came out, right? And I first saw it, a lot of speculation was coming out that like he was he was a big gay and everything, but only because of the way he looked and everything. But I was like, dude, why are we talking? Why are we talking about this? Why are we thinking like this? Like Felipe is Felipe. The man has a library of books. Like, come on, man. The man is intelligent. Leave that man be.
Philip also has a special power. From experience, opening it is a lot of fun, and the middle of the slot showing the memory logos is a nice touch.
That is.
The announcer voice staple continues here. It's as simple as the Ryuki voice, but an accent or unusual announcer definitely helps. With what? I'm not entirely sure, but I like it over Ryuki's at the very least. Each transformation Gaia memory has a jingle to accompany the voice. I love jingles, and Double is a step in the right direction.
It is.
They're simple and
I agree.
to the point, even if I prefer ones from later season. Much like
oh my god, I just realized it too. Wait a minute. Go back.
Use shapes.
Bro. That's the other reason why they're called Kamen Rider W. I just realized it. Because their arms are... I fucking love this show. I freaking love this show, bro.
Side by side, much like how the driver makes a W when it's open. Remember when I said that this season plays it safe? The production crew confirmed that this season has homages to the Showa era, starting with the classic Ichigo muffler or scarf. Then another dopant appears that's connected to the case. Episode 2 focuses on the second dopant, figuring out who it is through investigation and defeating it. Yep, it's the popular 2-episode arc structure again. I don't mind watching episodic shows, but sometimes they can drag. That's not the case when it comes to Double. Going through the investigations and requests keeps things very interesting.
Yeah.
We always begin.
I watched every episode of Double.
Shotaro searching for clues, finding out a dopant is involved, and then Double destroying their Gaia memory. Now, this isn't Sherlock Holmes where you can figure things out yourself through logical deduction, because a lot of the times the answers come to the characters rather than the viewer. But that's okay. What's driving me to watch is the cast. The dynamic between Philip and Shotaro is fantastic. Shotaro pretends to be a hard-boiled detective, but also has meme faces, while Philip is a genius that focuses on one thing at a time. He also doesn't have memories of his past life other than one of a family he used to have. And Akiko, uses slippers? Shotaro, being a detective, has informants and friends that he gets help from. There's a couple of detectives from the police department, Gino and Makara, as well as some civilians like Watcherman, Santa-chan, don't ask, plus 2 high schoolers, Queen and Elizabeth. I don't know what it is about this show, but I love each of these characters. They don't get a focus whatsoever. Heck, they don't even appear that often, but it's so cool to see them whenever they pop up. As weird as it sounds, a lot of this enjoyment also goes towards the dopants too. We've had villain groups that are monsters like the Lords and Undead, plus people who organically are monsters like the Grongi and Orphanok. Now we have regular humans who use Gaia memories to transform into the monsters. Past structures had the Monster of the Week formula. We still have that with an added episode, though it also means that there's more time to develop not only the main cast, but the villains and one-off characters as well.
Right.
We had sympathetic Monsters of the Week before, although now it feels more personal as we see more human-like stakes for the clients and dopants themselves. You know what? I'm gonna say the city is its own character too. The main location in previous seasons has usually been Tokyo, with extra scenery being filmed out by the ocean or the mountains. The memories are distributed by people who work for a museum, an entity that's researching the Earth. They also run an actual museum. The Sonozaki family is the one running this operation, headed by Ryubei and his two daughters, Saiko and Wakana, the latter of which is a famous radio talk show host. Saiko has been seeing a man named Kirihiko who is interested in marrying her, so he's given the Nazca Gaia memory. Museum also has their own mooks that use the masquerade memory. At least they're more than just a morph suit. A big difference you may notice from Phase 1 and 2 seasons is that Phase 2 typically has a lot of side content. And I mean a lot of side content. Before we were guaranteed at least one movie and a hyper battle video, maybe a special if they were lucky or named Kamen Rider Den-O. Crossover movies between writers weren't really a thing. Agito showed up in a Ryuki hyper battle.
Yeah, we didn't really get that much.
Barely counts as it was just a dream sequence and no previous Agito actors returned. Kiva and Den-O crossed over, but again, just barely since it was more of a Den-O movie that happened to have Kiva. Same with the Den-O and Decade movie. I sure am bringing up Den-O a lot. It'll never escape me. Back on topic, Double has the true start of Kamen Rider crossovers known then as Movie Wars. What I'm bringing up here is Kamen Rider crossover.
Oh my God, that was the other movie that I loved. I loved me some Movie Wars. Oh my Lord. Marcosatsu, you just brought me back, bro. You just brought me back. I love this. I love this movie too.
Kamen Rider Double and Decade, Movie War 2010.
Yes!
Split stories between each respective writer, a formula which won't change until 5 years later. Decade's portion of the movie was brought up during History of Decade, as I felt that the full story should be complete there, so I won't retell it here. After all, it's called Decade Final Chapter. Why wouldn't I bring it up there? Double's portion is called Begins Night.
Yes.
The story of where it all began. At the detective agency, Shotaro puts on a fedora, but Sokichi tells him not to wear it until he's ready. It's the
Bruh, hold up. Go back. Go back right now. Go back right now.
Not to wear it until he's ready.
Bruh. This guy, when he came up on screen, I was like, this dude better become a writer. I immediately said it. This dude better be a writer. And then I see it. Hold on. He's gonna talk about it. I know he is.
It's the holidays in the present day. However, crime doesn't stop, so Shotaro gets a case to work on. The personification of death presents itself to Shotaro when Philip notices someone in a white suit walking towards them. Akiko recognizes a man as her father, so Kichi pulls out a Skull Gaia memory from a one-sided double driver, known as the Lost Driver, transforming into Kamen Rider Skull.
Bruh! Look at him. Look at this. Just look at this.
Can't be the real Sokichi Narumi.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Go back. Go back.
Transforming into Kamen Rider Skull.
Dog. Bruh. When I tell you I saw this man transform and then put the hat back on, it was clean. Yo, bro, it was so clean. It was so clean, dude. This man, the personification. If Michael Jackson was a writer and he was dead, it fits the theme. It fits the theme, bro. You cannot say it don't. You can't say it don't.
Philip says it can't be the real Sokichi Narumi because he's supposed to be dead, a secret that Akiko didn't know until now. After fighting the fake Sokichi, Shotaro goes to an island to visit his boss's unofficial grave. Philip has been there waiting for him to arrive, to retell the story of Begins Night. A long time ago, Sokichi and Shotaro were investigating the building at the island to find the Child of Fate.
Yeah.
The alarm rings out, so Sokichi transforms to fight the Masquerade Moose and Psycho's taboo Dopant form.
Bruh, oh God, look at this man. Look at this man. Look, wait a minute. This better be the thumbnail. I swear, YouTube, on God, this gonna be the thumbnail. Oh, When I saw him do this, I was like, yo, and the whole fight sequence was crazy. Honestly, in my honest opinion, this was one of my most favorite fight scenes of Kamen Rider. One of my most favorite ones. Because you just see Skull doing his thing, man. Doing his thing. It was so good. It was so good.
Kamen Rider Skull has such a cool suit.
Yes!
The fedora actually works with it.
It does!
Skull had an early form without the S on the helmet that's based on the ancient crystal skulls. During the fight, Shotaro notices that Child of Fate walk into a room.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. Where the fuck is it at? Where is it at? Hold on. Because I told y'all I had it. Wait a minute. Bruh. Yo, I told you this was the reason why I loved this. Dog. Yo. This show had me, dude. I loved me some Skull. Skull was that dude, yo. Skull will always be that dude. He don't need no final form. He don't need no... But if he got a final form, that would be great. But he don't need it. He don't need it, bro. Oh, my God. Let's continue. Stop playing around.
The child is a bit pushy, revealing a double driver inside a case that Shotaro was holding. Shotaro pushes him into a Gaia tower, forcing Sokichi to break him out. That's when we saw Sokichi get shot. He tells Shotaro to finish the case, and puts a white fedora on his head. Shotaro and Philip transform into Double. Then a strange dinosaur-like Gaia memory saves Philip's body. This memory grants Double a new form, Fang Joker. Don't worry, we'll get to that in a bit. In the present day, Philip tells Shotaro something.
Honestly, I would think the Fang Joker. I would think the Fang Joker is more of his berserker form because of the way he just snaps, and it's a different way for them to transform because it's Shotaro's side that faints and Felipe's body takes over. Like, yeah.
In the present day, Philip tells Shotaro something that he didn't know. Sokichi briefly enters the Gaia library with Philip. As the Child of Fate, Philip didn't have his memories, let alone a name, so Sokichi gave him one, named after Philip Marlowe. Shotaro and Philip later discover that the culprit's Gaia memory isn't death, it's dummy, as in a cheap copy. The Dopants attempt to escape, so Double chases after him. Meanwhile, Tsukasa, Kamen Rider Decade, is in his own battle and Double rides up beside him. They agree to help each other out by defeating the Dopants and this weird elephant thing. I also don't know if I'll forget to bring this up in History of Decade, but Natsumi's grandpa was being controlled by Shinigami Hakase Gaia memory. Moving on, Tsukasa uses a final form ride on Double, splitting them into two as Cyclone and Joker.
Yep.
After the battle is over, Decade hands over a Kamen Rider Skull Rider card to Shotaro, summoning a Sokichi from another world. This Sokichi compliments Shotaro's hat and rides off. In the end, Tsukasa and his friends continue their journey together, and Shotaro celebrates Christmas. Ironically, this is the only time Santa-chan isn't seen wearing his Santa suit.
That's crazy.
After credits, a man in red appears.
Yes, the secondary Kamen Rider, Axel.
Excel Gaia memory. My thoughts on half of this movie are obviously gonna be in History of Decade, but when it comes to Double, well, it's pretty good. Like I said in the beginning, I don't bring up every single detail, so you have more to look forward to in the seasons I talk about. If there's one thing I don't like about this movie, it's how the Dopant civilian was kind of forced in to have a twist you didn't see coming. Other than that, the movie tells the origin story pretty well. There are still some questions left to be asked, but those are answered in other places. Remember when I said that Phase 2 seasons have a lot of side content? Let's just say that this movie barely scratches the surface of things I bring up outside this 49 episode show.
No, naturally.
The event comes in episode 13 and 14. Wakana has been the target of a Dopant attack, so she gets Shotaro's help. She overhears that Philip has been the brains of Shotaro's agency, so she goes to visit him. Philip hides behind a door and she grabs his hand, knowing that he'll be a helpful ally. Philip asks if anyone's tried to kill her before. It's for the case, so it's not that weird of a question. She says yes. Her sister, Psycho, has been a bully to her since they were young. However, Wakana's little brother has helped before too. He isn't here anymore, but she remembers him. Another clue arrives in episode 15, the F Afterglow. A case leads Double cornered, forcing them to untransform so Philip can escape. However, he runs into Psycho. Her arms are open and calls him Raito. We saw in Begins Night that Philip is the child of fate, one born from the earth.
Yup.
Now we know his real name is Raito.
Raito.
Shotaro and Akiko are being played by a dopant. Akiko holds Shotaro by a rope. If she lets go, then he'll get impaled on sharp pipes. Akiko can't hold on any longer, so she's forced to let go, but the Fang memory and Philip arrive in time to save them. Earlier, Shotaro told Akiko about Fang. It's a sentient Gaia memory that Philip was afraid of using because it made him go berserk. Now Philip pushed himself and transforms. Man, I love this.
Yo, for real.
The scene isn't bad either. Actually, let's get into that.
Bruh.
I normally don't bring up the action in Kamen Rider because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's always been good.
But the choreography, though.
Earlier seasons had it a bit rough, but those are most likely stylistic choices, especially with Kamen Rider Kuga and Nagito. Now there's more integration of CGI.
Yep.
I don't want to hear complaints of, but the older fight scenes were better because it's all computer generated now, yada yada yada. No, they're not. Stop it.
Yes, they are.
But a majority of the modern action is still suit actor versus suit actor. Here's one clean swipe with Fang Joker. It's awesome. And
Bruh, it honestly, it don't fucking matter if it's computer generated. The shit goes hard, bro. It goes hard.
The fight is hand to hand. I wouldn't even say that there's an over-reliance of CG, as that's typically saved for finishers or the weird sky battles that look extremely outdated.
Also, shout out to Marcosatsu for playing the music in the background. I love triggers. Yo, woo! Pull your finger on the trigger. Oh my god, I love that song.
Still better than Kuga's transformations. Episode 17 starts with Double fighting Kirihiko. Then we flash back to 30 minutes earlier. Alright then. Shotaro and Kirihiko are having a shave. They're enjoying each other's company, talking about how much they love Futo, until they see who they're talking to. Hey wait, I know that face. I've seen that meme posted from non-Toku fans. Oh, how far we've come from 2008 templates. Anyway, Kirihiko has been distributing Gaia memories all this time, so he's had his share of fights with Double up to this point.
Yeah.
However, that's gonna come to an end with episodes 17 and 18. Farewell N. Kirihiko enters a secret elevator in the Sonozaki mansion that leads to an underground tunnel. Within the tunnel is a well called the Fountain, where Gaia memories are created. He learns that Ryubei is an evil man, selling Gaia memories to teens and using Psycho for his own gain. Meanwhile, Double is fighting a dopant when Kirihiko helps defeating it. Kirihiko has been injured, but before he goes, he tells Double that their enemy is an organization called Museum. He hands Shotaro a gift, a one-of-a-kind keychain of Mr. Futo. Kiriko tells them to take care of the city. On a rooftop, Kirihiko asks Psycho to run away with him. She answers by blasting him away.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember that.
One last time.
He really just died like that.
Final breath. Back at the agency, Akiko screams about seeing a CGI beetle. It flies towards a man in red, who says he hates Futo.
Double.
Kamen Rider Double isn't in my top Kamen Rider spot, it does hold a special place in my heart. You see, roughly around the time that I was leaving Japan, that was when I was entering high school. So that was the end of Den-O starting Kiva. So I would watch Kiva on streams, and then I would watch Decade on streams, and then while I was hanging out in homeroom, that's when I noticed Double.
God, I hate that shit. You know, the one thing I hate about people is that whenever they see shows like Kamen Rider and Ultraman and shoot, even Super Sentai, they can't help themselves with saying Power Rangers. Do you motherfuckers realize Power Rangers, like, is not the be-all, end-all? I really do hate that shit. Well, it's Power Rangers shit. Power Rangers wouldn't be shit without the existence of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. and Ultraman. Period. Like, come on, dog. Like, how much longer y'all gonna keep saying that stupid ass shit? Like that. That honestly is one of the biggest red flags or like cringy things I will ever hear a person say. Oh, it's that Power Rangers shit. Yo, Power Rangers ain't got nothing on this. As a Power Rangers fan, I'm saying this. Power Rangers ain't got nothing on this. Power Rangers wishes it had the production, support, and love and beyond love for Tokusatsu. Especially right now with it being still dead to all rights. Barely holding on.
We actually sat down and started watching it like a couple episodes like every week. That was pretty much my friend's gateway Kamen Rider series. The show is, I believe, is like very enjoyable. My one critique, if I had to, about it would have been the Wakana Philip romance subplot that was just really weird, honestly. Everything else, though, I really enjoyed about it. Even Akiko's like, you know, outbursts. The Gaia memories themselves, really cool. Especially love the voices. Money! It's one of my favorite things to listen to and play around with. I would definitely recommend it to people who are just getting into Kamen Rider.
I would too.
Like, I love the character development.
Episode 19, The Eye Doesn't Stop. Shotaro coolly plays billiards, but somehow manages to throw the cue stick when a stranger catches it. This man is Superintendent Terui Ryu. He's working a case where people have become frozen, possibly by dopant. It seems Terui knows a lot more than he's let on. He knows of Double, Philip, and the Gaia Library. Their investigation has them go to an amusement park. Terui sees a woman in a black coat and follows her. He calls her Shroud. She points at a case in front of his feet. Inside is a driver. Terui walks up to a dopant that Double has been fighting. He slams a heavy sword to the ground and transforms.
Hen. Shin! Bro, when Axel first came, when I first seen this, man, first question on my mind was, how heavy is that fucking sword? And the second thing was, why does he look like a bike? And then I see him transform into one, and I'm just like, dude. They better ride it. And then episodes later, they actually do manage to ride him as a rider, as a bike. I love the show.
This is Kamen Rider Axel, or Excel if you want to use the English pronunciation. The suit is oddly bulky, but it looks alright. Maybe a little too much red though. He fights the dopant and transforms into a bike. I have no idea where to even start with that. I don't even want to begin to imagine how that works, and yes, I know there's another Kamen Rider transformed into a bike. We'll get to that when we get to that. We later learn that Terui is trying to solve this case out of revenge. When Terui was just a regular police officer, he arrived home and saw his mom, dad, and sister frozen.
It was
then
fucked
they
up.
Shattered before his
Moment
eyes.
he touched
Jeez,
him.
Kamen Rider, you're hardcore. A woman named Shroud wanted to help Ryu take revenge against the dopant that did this. The dopant that holds the W Gaia memory. However, the culprit of this case has the Ice Age memory. The real owner of the W memory has just visited Psycho and Wakana. His name is Isaka, and he controls the weather memory. During a case, Philip is forced out of Double by Isaka. Shotaro watches as Isaka lightning strikes Philip, but then a bird flies over and rescues him, absorbing Philip like a UFO. Ryubei is told of this bird-like memory. He says it's the extreme Gaia memory, and it could only have come from one person. Philip wakes up in the extreme memory by being called Raito. Shroud tells him that Shotaro is a dangerous person, but Philip moves on. Episode 31 and 32, The Wind Called B. Shroud meets with Philip, saying that he's going to acquire a new power. Power that shouldn't involve Shotaro. She says that Shotaro isn't his true partner. Shotaro is feeling useless, so Philip asks Terui to team up instead. But Terui is more offended for him to even say such a thing. Akiko tells Philip that there's more to Shotaro than just being a fighter. Alone, Philip shows Shotaro a message from Sokichi, a piece of paper that simply says, "Nobody's perfect."
Right.
They're gonna work together as a team, no matter what. They write together as the theme "Nobody's Perfect" plays. More on that in a bit. They go to fight the dopants of this case. The extreme memory hovers over them, absorbing Philip and attaching himself to the double driver. Philip and Shotaro become one, granting them a new form.
Extreme!
Kamen Rider Cyclone Joker Extreme.
Yep.
Still a mouthful. This is one form where I'm gonna save my thoughts for a certain point. You'll know when it happens. For now, let's go back to the music.
I love this
is
song
obvious,
too.
But music is a powerful thing.
It is.
Especially in a drama and action show like Kamen Rider.
Uh-huh.
Which is why I love insert themes, specifically the vocal ones. I don't think there's ever been a theme I outright hated. Kamen Rider music is just so good. And not just insert themes. Double's original soundtrack is phenomenal. Each track has a lot of love and care put into them. I can just feel the investigative juices flowing from every bass line.
Me too.
The laid-back music is great. They're bouncy
That's so
and
extreme.
Not to mention the opening theme.
Oh, talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it, bro. Oh.
Extreme Dream is another contender for one of my favorite themes ever. Unfortunately, it's only played twice in the season, towards the end. It's
Something will be
the
changed.
connection between Shotaro and Philip. They've struggled to get this far, but they did it.
Yep.
Which leads me into Nobody's Perfect, a song sung by Sokichi's actor himself.
That's
if
crazy.
Extreme Dream is the climax of their struggle, then Nobody's Perfect is the path that gets them there. I've listened to Nobody's Perfect when I'm down, and it's helped quite a bit. Can you tell that double means a lot to me?
Yes.
Alright.
I can tell.
Episode
Means a lot to me
35,
too. Shoot.
Beyond the R. Terui notices a woman who has a bioconnector, the marks that show they're compatible with Gaia memories. Coincidentally, Shotaro was given a case that involves the same woman. Her bioconnector is larger than we've seen before, because Isaka was using her as an experiment. A long time ago, Isaka witnessed Ryubei use the terror memory, so he wanted more power. In parallel, Terui wants more power as well, so he goes to Shroud. She gives him a few trials to complete, and a literal trial memory. Meanwhile, Ryubei confronts Isaka, fully knowing that Isaka's been planning to take him down. Though not just him, as Psycho is also part of the plan to take control of Museum. One of Terui's tests is to complete a race course in under 10 seconds. Terui tries many times, but fails. Shroud can feel that he's not fighting for revenge, so after one last attempt, she says that he passed since she's no longer interested in him. Akiko notices that her stopwatch had more than 10 seconds. Terui goes to face Isaka. Terui takes out the trial memory and transforms into Kamen Rider Axel Trial.
Trial. That's alright, because he still made it, regardless.
Using this form, Terui can move lightning fast.
Bro.
His finisher is...
The shit is cold. The shit is cold. Like, it's cold in my opinion. Yo, when I first saw him do this, I was like, what?
Terui can move lightning fast. Plus his finisher is... Just look at it.
Just a bam, 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 bam.
Wait, what was that? Nice explosions, Toei. I couldn't see when the suit actor was moved. Isaka's body gets covered in bioconnectors, then he fades away after saying that Shroud had their fate sealed a long time ago. Stakes are getting higher in episode 37, Visitor X. Shotaro and Akiko attempt to take a picture for their website, but it's not all fun and games as Ryubei tells Wakana that someone from Foundation X is arriving soon. Meanwhile, Psycho is being hunted down for betraying the family. Then Philip gets an emergency call from Wakana, so they need to meet right away. In actuality, Wakana said that to trick Philip into seeing each other face to face for the first time. She wanted advice on what to do with Museum. Wakana is going to be chosen to be Ryubei's successor, but she feels like it's wrong. At the very least, Philip and Wakana seem happy, and even joke about running away together. A member of Foundation X,
I mean, they
Shiryu
are
Kazumi
brother and
meets
sister.
Ryubei. He's ready to exchange leadership position. Wakana, in tears, calls Philip, saying that they really should run away. He feels conflicted. Akiko doesn't want him to go, but Shotaro says it's all Philip's choice. Philip decides to go with Wakana. However, important information is said to him. The client of this case was a scientist that worked with Museum to study the Gaia memories. This scientist was the one who erased Philip's memories about his family and his name. Now the scientist reveals that Philip's real name is Ryo Sonozaki, Ryubei's son and Wakana's brother.
Yup.
Philip runs to the station where he agreed to meet Wakana, but she attacks him. We find out more about Shroud in episode 43 and 44, O's Link. Ryubei knows who Shroud is, saying that she's the embodiment of hatred, as we could tell from her using Terui for revenge. Shroud talks to Philip and Terui. She wants them to combine and become the ultimate double, Cyclone Axel Extreme. She says that she chose Terui because he has a strong mind that's able to withstand certain Gaia memories, possibly even Ryubei's terror memory. She knew this so she could get revenge. Then Wakana enters their conversation. Shroud's real name is Fumine Sonozaki, Philip's mother. Shroud is fighting for more than hatred. She's fighting out of her love for Philip. She got in Ryubei's way, and in consequence got her face distorted. Terui was part of the plan, but she's the one who gave Isaka the weather memory, not knowing that he would kill Terui's family. Philip overhears and intrudes, agreeing to fight, but only if Shotaro is involved too.
Yup.
There's a lot to say and not a lot to say about Double. While simple in execution, the story has many different twists and turns that, on a second or third view,
honestly, when it was revealed that Felipe was her son, it all made sense. Father's a piece of shit. The mother is scornful. The little sister is conflicted because she thought he was dead this whole time. She ends up turning good because it turns out she loves her brother. Like, it's just crazy. Like, this man's memory was erased, and his family is fucked up. And even more importantly, we find out more that he came from the well. He was a child born from the earth.
the rest of Futo. Kamen Rider Double takes things that I love and gives them a Kamen Rider twist, which is why I think no matter what series comes out in the future, Double will always be my favorite. Well, that's enough from me.
As it should.
Back to you, Marcos.
As it should.
Years ago, a boy named Daido Katsumi died in a car accident. Then he got revived at the project called Never. The project needed more funding, but the sponsor, Foundation X, went towards Gaia Memories instead. Years later, Katsumi has a band of mercenaries.
Oh yes, the movie, yes.
There, they get involved with people who have psychic powers, and a white soldier with red flames named Eternal. Katsumi gets captured and wakes up in a walled-off village that's being experimented by Foundation X. Real quick, Foundation X is planning to kill people in this village in an event called Heaven's Hall, so, you know, Katsumi has things to do, people to save. Katsumi confronts Kazu and the Eyes Dopant. Kazu wants to complete this experiment, then move on to Futo, Katsumi's hometown. Katsumi opens a nearby case, grabs the Eternal memory from within, and transforms into Kamen Rider Eternal. Eternal Henshin. The red flames turn blue, and he grows a trash bag for a cape. Then Katsumi kills Kazu. Yeah, that boy's dead. Katsumi opens up the village's gate to let the people escape. However, the Eyes Dopant set this up. In case the villagers left, they would automatically die from his power.
That's
Katsumi
crazy.
just laughs and transforms to defeat the Dopant. When that's all done, Katsumi says that his next goal is Futo. This is from Kamen Rider Eternal, a movie that connects to what we'll talk about next. Before that, Eternal was told with flashbacks from the modern day.
Yeah.
They only brought up the flashback portions to keep things more condensed and focused, so if you want to watch the season, then keep that in mind in terms of continuity. These cinemas tend to have more leniency in ratings. Kamen Rider may be aimed towards kids, but even Japan has a bit of a limit to what can be shown. Movies like Eternal are side content, so they can get away with more, as we'll see in later seasons. Toon Chaser Cobra, anyone? Eternal as a movie is alright. It has really cool fight scenes and gives a decent backstory to Katsumi and Never. Although
honestly, I liked it. Especially Eternal's look, it definitely gave Dark Rider. It definitely gave Dark Rider.
I admit I was a bit bored at times. Eternal is an hour long. Maybe 15 to 20 minutes could have been cut. But it's not a big deal. I still enjoyed it. Now we get to our main movie of the season. A to Z, The Gaia Memories of Fate. A helicopter flies over Futo. Katsumi jumps into it to grab a new Eternal memory. Other memories get scattered from the exploding copter. Philip notices a couple of dopants attack, except these are ones we've seen before. A woman in black shoots at them, Philip thinking it's Shroud. The dopants turned out to be Watcherman and Santa-chan, but they don't remember what happened. The woman in black is Maria S. Cranberry. Okay, what is with these names? She's searching for 26 T2 Gaia memories and Katsumi. Oh look, Queen Elizabeth have the A, K, and B memories. Get it? Cause they're from AKB48. Yeah, haha, funny inside joke. Maria tricks Shotra and Philip into meeting with her and Katsumi. I'll just say this now, Eternal has a bad suit design.
It did,
It's
yes!
Gold, but the white feels menacing on him, as strange as it may be. Eternal's finisher is pretty good too. Katsumi's Eternal memory turns off all T1 memories. Back at the agency, Shotaro has a vision of Skull. He's handed a Lost Driver and finds a T2 Joker memory. My fanboyism is coming out. I swear, there isn't a bad rider suit design in this show.
It's not. It's really not.
Is literally
they all
Shotro's
fit.
Half covering his whole body, and that's great.
Yeah.
Philip wakes up tied to a giant machine in Futo Tower, so Shotaro and Terui go on a rescue mission. Katsumi takes Shotaro's Joker memory and activates the machine, but Philip finds a way to break the T2 memories, allowing the T1 memories to work again. Maria stops Katsumi, so he shoots her. Philip and Shotaro confront Katsumi one last time. A Luna Dopant grabs Double and takes them to a roof, where they see a metal roll, followed by a man in colorful clothing. The man takes the metal and...
Dude. I know... Okay, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute.
Colorful clothing. The man takes the...
When I first saw this guy... Keep in mind, and I'm gonna say this now. From the way I'm even reacting in this moment, you would think that Kamen Rider W was my first Kamen Rider series that I watched. That is relatively false. The very first Kamen Rider series that I watched was this guy right here. Kamen Rider O's. This dude, my opinion, chef's kiss. The whole series, I enjoyed it. When we get to O's, I might just kirk the fuck out because, yo, bro, I love me some O's. Love me some O's.
Metal and transforms into what he calls Kamen Rider O's. Double continues their fight with Katsumi. On the ground, people cheer on Double. Futo's wind powers up Double into Cyclone Joker Gold Extreme. Seriously, what is with these names? They defeat Katsumi and watch the fireworks at night. I flippin' love this movie. And
me too.
I didn't even get to the bigger points. Come on, everything in Double is just so good. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we're reaching the end game now with episode 45.
Yeah, time to kill this bastard.
Akiko has dowsing slippers. That's cute. More importantly, Philip opens a book on himself in the Gaia Library, museum excavated under the Sonozaki mansion, and found a location that leads to the Earth's will, which they called the Fountain. I don't get it either. Then Philip fell in it when he was young. However, the Philip we've known throughout the season has been dead for years. This Philip is just Data. Double and Terui try to fight Ryubei, but his terror memory is too strong for them to handle. Terui can barely move, and Shotaro feels the biggest fear of his life. Philip wakes up inside the Sonozaki mansion. His family is having a banquet, including Shroud and Psycho. Of course, the family can't be together for 5 minutes without being at each other's throats. Before Shroud leaves, she tells Philip that Shotaro is their only way of winning. Philip calls him to say goodbye. Ryubei and Philip go to the fountain. Ryubei feels no remorse but hugs Philip and pushes him in. Although Philip has been prepared, Shotaro faces Ryubei and summons up Philip's Gaia memory. They transform into Double Extreme and defeat Ryubei, destroying his terror memory. Ryubei stumbles back to his burning mansion.
Bastard.
He dances a bit, recovering old memories, and dies in the fire. The fight still isn't over. This time, Philip has his own request. He wants Shotaro to find Wakana. Kazu has Wakana's body prepared to be sacrificed for Data. Terui, Shotaro, Philip, and Akiko find Psycho, though Kazu has something ready, his own powerful Utopia memory. Sadly, Philip can only transform one more time, then he'll disappear into the earth. Shotaro begs Shroud for help. She says that it was Sokichi's final request to save Philip. She's satisfied that Shotaro continued that request. The group attempts to fight Kazu again, but Shotaro is hesitant to transform. Psycho blasts Kazu enough to kill him, or at least if he wasn't a never that connected back to the Eternal movie. This fight leads Terui to the hospital. Shotaro can't bring himself to see Philip go. Unfortunately, there's no time left. Kazu has attacked all of Philip's friends, including Akiko, and lastly, Kazu kills Psycho. The final battle is about to begin. Shotaro rescues Wakana from an exploding facility. Philip waits for him so they can transform into Double Extreme for the last time and fight Kazu. With him defeated, Foundation X ends his research. But it's time for Philip to go.
Bro, when I tell you, I can't listen to this music. I can't listen to this music. When I tell you this scene broke me, dude, I cried like a little bitch because I thought Philip was gone. I couldn't take it, bro. Just this sequence alone, and then Philip and Philip just looking at Shotaro trying not to break down. Oh, this shit hurt. This shit hurt. It hurt. It really hurt. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Oh my god. Just look at his face. Bro, like, oh.
I used to think that Cyclone Effect was an insert theme for Cyclone alone, but when I realized that it was both for Philip and Shotaro, it hit me. This is what
it hit hard.
Or rather, here, Cyclone Effect's acoustic version. The power of music.
Yo, I love
the power of extreme.
Honestly though, the acoustic theme for Cyclone Effect, that I be listening to that when I be depressed sometimes. I be listening to that when it rains for real. I ain't gonna hold you. It's such a beautiful song. Like it really hits you. Like and when I say it hits you, it really does hit you. Real talk.
While not my favorite suit, I'm more enamored by its symbolism. Shotaro and Philip have been fighting together for this past year, even longer than that with Begins Night. They understand each other without needing to talk. They have a connection that few friends would have. They're partners, from beginning to end. Nobody's perfect is the build-up we need to a beautiful moment. Then we have Cyclone Effect in that moment, a moment that ends with Shotaro closing the case and saying goodbye. At the agency, Shotaro sees a gift that Philip left behind for him. Inside is a lost driver and a blank book with a note in the back.
僕の好きだった街をよろしく
Damn.
仮面ライダー左翔太郎見ててくれよなフィリップ
Oh, that hurt. That hurt, dog.
Episode 49, Goodbye to the E. It's been a year since Philip disappeared. In that year, Philip's body has been restoring back to normal because Wakana gave up her body for him. Philip says bye to his family and returns to Shotaro.
Yeah. That...
This ending is certainly a talking point. I've seen people who like that Philip came back.
I did.
Others wish that
I did. I cried when he came back. I cried when he came back. I did. I didn't want him to remain dead. I'm not gonna hold you. I did not want that dude to remain dead. There was no reason for me to even and just have Shotaro be all by no. The answer is no.
it ended with episode 48. I'm one of those others. I understand why Philip returned. It would be a feel-good moment. The partners are back. He can possibly appear in other movies too with cameos. At least up until Forze because his agency stops him from making more appearances. I get it. But I feel like it nullifies any lessons that Shotaro tried to learn. He couldn't promise Philip to become more independent because he needed him. Shotaro fought alone for about a year, though he still had the habit of calling Philip for info. Shotaro still needed to grow. This would...
I mean, Shotaro missed his friend. And with regards to all that, they later on in like other shows, we see Shotaro like coming back, but he is fighting on his own. You see Felipe just chilling back while he's letting Shotaro do his thing. Especially what movie was it when he came back in the white suit and he had the individual driver? I forget what movie is that, but I do remember that. Like he did grow. So for him to like to say that Felipe coming back will be was hindering Shotaro's growth, I don't think that's true. There is no reason for Shotaro to be by himself, all alone like that, and just suffer in silence like that. Nah, man, no way. Especially for Felipe to have a fucked up background, like especially for a messed up family like that. The least they could do was make sure that he came back alive. Just, for all the crap that they've done to him.
Be like as if Yusuke's friends from Kuga just forgot about him, or Shoichi from Agito not pushing himself to find out about his past and the Lords, or Osamu from Hibiki getting a rival when that was far beyond the point of the season, or Kanzaki and Hajime from Blade here on the line in third time to...
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wait, those last two actually happened. Why did that happen? Why did... The point is, I wouldn't mind if Philip got revived. I just wish that there was more reason and growth to do so. Oh, wait. We're not done yet. A while after the series, Terui continues his work at the Futo Police Department when he gets involved with some thieves. His relationship with Akiko goes a bit rocky, but with the case, he proves that he's still on the side of good and even gets a new form with Kamen Rider Axel Booster. I like the suit. The mustard looks good on him, I guess. We also have some backstory with Sokichi, which I'll bring up in the next season. And we have a sequel manga, Futo Detectives.
Yep.
I normally don't bring up side content like mangas because normally they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Looking at you, Jetman manga. But this is a nice read. It doesn't really affect things overall, but again, it's a nice read. Alright, now we're done. But don't take my word for how good this season is. Here's High C with his thoughts on it too.
Hey Marcos, with Tokusatsu, it feels like everyone has that one magic moment where it clicks and locks in. For me, that moment was
anything. Episode 7 and 8 have Philip try to get a dance couple together so you can watch them do a dance move. The only thing we learn from these episodes is that Museum has a cat who can transform. Cute. There's also this guy wearing a Tupac shirt. By the end, Philip learns the dance move and becomes apathetic towards the two focused one-offs of these episodes. Again, nothing to do with anything, but I thoroughly enjoyed the drama between the one-offs. These type of episodes continue even towards the end. Episode 40 and 41 has Akiko film a movie for a culprit of the case. There we learn that Psycho has the Nazca Gaia memory. Yeah, it doesn't really matter in this grand scheme of things, but it was funny to see Shotaro and friends try to make a movie when they don't know how. Terui even tries to learn how to kiss? Truly, this is why despair is his goal. I'm gonna have to hand it to Riku Sanjo, the head writer for Double and Kamen Rider Drive. He knows how to write characters. We have 3 main characters, 4 when Terui arrives. What's great to see is the dynamic each one has with each other, as well as the side cast and one-offs. Beginning with Shotaro, he's such a gem past that. Overall, Shotaro is a great character and one of my favorite main writers in the whole series. The other half of Shotaro has more of a focus, and it's well deserved. Philip has the main part of the story, and his arc is near perfect. His mysterious backstory didn't feel forced and naturally flowed throughout the story.
I agree.
Philip's genius is a good inclusion to Shotaro's agency. Having the Earth knowledge at your fingertips would be quite convenient to solve mysteries. While Shotaro is my favorite protagonist of Double, I feel that Philip is just as good. Except for, you know. Now, if only he could come back as a cameo one of these years. But I stated why he couldn't earlier. I just remember that one was really annoying. I mean, is she? Her acting isn't up to par with the rest of the cast, but her character isn't that bad. If anything, I was happy that she was included in the investigation.
Honestly, I just felt that she was quirky. She was just the quirky character who wanted to know about her father and why the fuck he didn't come back, only to find out that he's dead. And then the other lovely scene that I love from W was when her and Axel got married, and beautiful thing was her father's spirit got to walk her down the aisle. Like I thought that was nice.
Almost solve cases by herself. I think some of the annoyance comes from her quirks of hitting someone with her slippers or her overacting. Her slippers are quick gags that only last a few seconds, and Akiko settles down past the first few episodes. Really, I don't think she's that bad. Our
she isn't.
writer, Terui, was pretty good too. I enjoyed his arc way more than some future writers, and he grew as much as a character like his should. If anything, I wish he did a bit more in this season. His movie was awesome, one of my favorite Toku films, don't get me wrong. But within the season, he doesn't really do much outside fighting Isaka. He's brought up to be Philip's true partner, but that doesn't go anywhere with him. He stares at Shroud like, nah fam, and that's it. As a secondary writer, Terui is fine enough. He still goes on investigating.
Well, Terui is one of those people that just is better off fighting alone, especially in the cameos. Like it proves that like he's better off as who he is, a cop who is very stern, but he has a soft spot for his wife and his child. Like
investigations and fights dope pants in pretty cool scenes. The Sonozakis aren't great villains, but they're great characters, if that makes any sense. Ryubei's main motive was to start a Gaia impact and stop humanity from going extinct. Alright, then why is he a villain? The Dopants are monsters, so I guess they gotta get beat up by someone eventually? I'm pretty sure I missed something somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure what. Cause not going extinct sounds like a pretty neat idea. I don't know, I just like having humanity live. I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments even after I find out. I do like the dope pant designs though, and like I said early on, having actual people be the ones to transform is great. Some dope pants didn't even try to do evil things, so it was interesting to find out where those arcs would go. The Sonozaki family was pretty good. Seeing them fall apart was oddly cathartic. I'm sure you guys would know from my other videos that I love when villains are fighting over politics. We have the Sonozakis fight over who would be the next in line. Psycho got rid of Kirihiko because she didn't want to stop at accomplishing her goal, even if it meant killing her husband. Wakana didn't want to do anything with Museum until she saw Ryubei's plan for the Gaia Impact towards the end. Can't forget about their cat either. He's so cute. I should probably also bring up Foundation X. They just don't do much. So
yeah, I barely even remember those motherfuckers.
I like Kazu being the big bad of the season for some reason. I'm not even sure why. I guess it's because Utopia looks cool, but yeah, Foundation X. We'll see them in other seasons. Yada yada yada. Okay. Oh man, I can't believe we've gone on for this long. Let's get into my final thoughts. From the moment all the way back in 2009, Kamen Rider Double is a fantastic show.
Fantastic.
With all that being said,
very
I'll
fantastic.
see you guys next time when we count the medals 1, 2, and 3 with Kamen Rider O's.
Bro, when I tell you right now, when I tell y'all right now, y'all are not ready for me react to O's. Y'all not ready for me to react to O's. There's a lot I got to say about O's. A lot I got to say. This video was an hour long. Holy crap. With that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.